You spent your whole life trying to be good, right? To stay positive and shove all those bad thoughts down. But what if I told you that's the very thing holding you back? What if your dark side, the anger, the envy, the ambition you're scared to own, is actually where your greatest power is hiding? That invisible hand that seems to sabotage you isn't some enemy you need to destroy, it's a part of you that's just dying to be understood. Do you ever feel like you're your own worst enemy? You set goals, you have the best intentions, but you keep getting pulled back into the same old habits. Maybe you snap at someone you love for no reason, or you feel this deep, simmering frustration you just can't shake. When a friend shares amazing news, you smile and say, "Congratulations," but a tiny, quiet part of you feels that painful sting of jealousy. That, right there, is your dark side making a cameo, but it's not what you think. This whole idea was made famous by the Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung, who gave it the name the shadow. Your shadow is basically a bag you've been stuffing your entire life with all the things you've been taught are unacceptable. It's all the traits, desires, and feelings that your parents, teachers, and society told you were bad. Be nice, don't be angry. Be generous, don't be selfish. So to fit in and feel loved, we push those parts of ourselves into the dark. But as Jung himself famously said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate.
So here's the big mindset shift. Your shadow isn't a monster you need to kill. It's more like a treasure chest filled with raw, messy, powerful energy. See, holding all that stuff down takes a ton of your mental energy you could be using to build the life you actually want. Pushing it down doesn't make it disappear, it just guarantees it'll pop out sideways. Think self-sabotage, random outbursts, or judging people for the very things you won't admit about yourself. Think about it this way. That anger you feel, it's not just rage. It's the raw fuel of passion, drive, and the power to finally set some boundaries. That envy, it's not just bitterness. It's a compass pointing directly at what you secretly want for yourself. Your shadow can even hold positive traits you were taught to hide. Maybe you were told being assertive was bossy, so you buried your natural gift for leadership. Or your sensitivity was called weakness, so you hid your creativity. Now, a word of caution from Jung himself. This isn't a simple self-help hack. The shadow can be a perennial danger, and diving in without respect for its power can be overwhelming. It's a process. But every part of you that you've disowned is a tool you haven't learned to use yet. Integrating your shadow isn't about letting the bad win. It's about becoming a whole, complete person.
So how do you open this chest without causing an explosion? It's a process Jung called integration, and it's less about fixing yourself and more about accepting all of yourself. Here are 3 ways to get started. First, become a detective of your own emotions. What makes you way more angry or annoyed at someone than the situation really calls for? That intense reaction is your shadow waving a huge flag. The things that drive you crazy about other people are often just reflections of what you deny in yourself. So when you feel that judgment bubble up, get curious instead of critical. Ask yourself, okay, why does this bother me so much? Is there a little piece of this in me? Second, start a no-filter journal. Give yourself a totally private, safe space to write down your thoughts and feelings without censoring a single word. You will be shocked by what comes out. A great prompt to start with is, what's one thing you really, really want? And follow it up with, now, what are all the reasons you don't want it or are scared of it? This is a fantastic way to uncover the hidden fears holding you back. Third, practice some self-compassion. Your shadow was created to protect you. You learned to hide those parts because at some point it didn't feel safe to show them. Instead of shaming that anger or jealousy, try to understand it. You can literally say to yourself, I see you. I get why you're here. You're part of me, and you're welcome to be. Bringing your shadow into the light has profound benefits. You'll gain massive self-awareness, your relationships will improve, and you'll feel a surge of authentic power and creativity. You stop wasting all your energy holding yourself back and start using it to move forward. Your dark side isn't a flaw you need to get rid of. It's the engine that, once you understand it, can drive you forward with more authenticity than you ever thought possible. The point isn't to get rid of the darkness, it's just to turn on the lights so you can finally see everything that's in the room. So I'm curious, what's one dark trait you have that you're now starting to see as a potential strength? Drop it in the comments below. Let's bring this whole conversation out into the open.